also live. Hey everybody, hello, what's up? Okay, what you did not see in the last 30 seconds is Cathy coming in like 1,000 miles an hour saying that she needs wine and it's Monday morning at 9 a.m. for her. And she's also
not doing the trick.
I was like, do you realize you're logged in as me? She's like, no, it's just been that kind of day. I'm sorry. She's
all of the things that can happen wrong are happening today. I just got back from, it's fine. We're good. I can't even get into that story.
Hello,
good morning. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. We're now changing it from right now. This is going to be amazing. Yes. I'm so excited for Funnel Upper. Oh my gosh.
I know. So what I'm going to do for the next hot second here is I'm going to share this around. So if you are joining us, hashtag live, because we want to know who's on right now. Renee, you're here. We're finally going to reveal it. You're
finally. You're wearing the brand. You're wearing
this was
the everything that actually inspired the brand. You have it on. That is amazing.
I'm trying. You guys are really rubbing off on me.
Now you see the power.
Yeah.
So to the dark side.
I know.
We got a little behind in this funnel because as all well-intended plans go, we had a crazy fall. And it also is hard work putting together an entire funnel. But we are finally able to reveal it, and we're going to go through the whole thing, show you all the pages, talk about kind of the whole process if you've been following along on YouTube, and let you guys go check it out. We're going to drop the link so you can see it. And this was Funnel Bohemian. We built Funnel Bohemian kind of at the same time as Renee. So you're going to see Funnel Bohemian in action. So Cathy, just as a recap for people, when you designed Funnel Bohemian, what were you hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, it was really, it was hard because the Funnel Bohemian has such an eclectic style and there's so many different versions of it. But my version of it was, really warm and friendly and kind of worldly, right? To have, different influences from different cultures and stuff as well. So I think I had a little bit of a different approach to it, but I also did have Renee sort of in mind a little bit as well, because I was doing it at the same time. You can't be not influenced, right? And so Renee had that necklace that she's actually wearing right now. And she had a scarf as well. I think that you had showed me, and some other things that she had that were bohemian, right? That were worldly like that, and that had those feelings. And so I was kind of doing the world market cost plus kind of, like the eclectic mix of cultures and stuff like that. And I just love how it came out. It's totally different than the original, though. Actually, the original is super jewel toned and rich. And then Renee's version is this light, airy, kind of spa-like version of it, which is so amazing. I love how it turned out.
So Renee, are you excited?
I am so excited. I've only seen flickers.
Okay, so we're going to do a little teaching, training. We're going to talk about Renee, the whole 9 yards. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to share my screen, and I want to show you guys what the actual original, you all saw her original funnel. There's no need to relive that, that horror. No, just kidding. But Renee was and is very successful. And we just knew that we could just dial it in so much more with a beautiful new design and reorganization. This is the original Bohemian, like Cathy was saying, in the super jewel toned colors.
I just realized the original matches my hair now.
Yeah.
It didn't at the time when I was designing it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, with these colors, it actually really matches my hair.
And if you scroll down and you look here, this is Renee, so that you guys do actually have this color palette, this more friendly, down to earth, this color palette. So we're going to go ahead and go in. And Renee, I would love for you to, interject on just some of the sort of your expertise in the funnel itself as we go through. So let me just grab the very first page. So here is the new registration page.
It's so much better.
So one of the things is we simplified the the actual headline, because in this class, this is not just a webinar, this is a class, right? You actually teach how to connect with and book new clients every 7 days in your class, correct?
I absolutely do. Yes. People love it.
So people actually get results even just from the free class.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's kind of what we wanted to really focus on, is that like we wanted to make it super tangible. They're going to come into this class and they're going to learn something. They're also going to learn about your program. But that's kind of part of who you are. You like to lead with value and show just how much you can offer.
Yeah, it's super fun. I've got students in the program that come back. I've got people that are my one-on-one clients that watch workshops like this, because they're like, you always tell a different story and you always have some other anecdote and it makes me laugh and I learn more. I hear the same information, but I get it again. And if all of us learned the same, like if we learned the things we needed to learn once by hearing it one time, there would be no formal academia, right?
Right. So we have just simple email address. We also add the little messenger option. This allows them to connect into your bot, and then they can get like a PDF worksheet to go as well. So if they click this button, they'll go ahead and get it in Messenger. So cool. You'll see here, we worked a lot on the 3 secrets, and we actually changed into steps because I wanted it to reflect that you're actually learning something. And we went for the stuff that's curious. Number 1, the 10-minute-a-day method that you teach. Number 2, the thing that makes you unique, which is you got a lot of people who teach marketing, right? And then you've got a lot of people who teach sales, but you don't have a lot of people who know how to bridge the gap between the two. And that is your sweet spot. So we really, really wanted to focus on that. And then also this whole thing, and I'm not going to reveal it because you guys got to go watch the webinar yourselves, but the stop making 2 sales a day or 2 sales at once on the call.
Yeah, that's huge.
We had your new photo shoot down here, courtesy of Erin Blackwell.
Yeah, she's a genius. Because I was like, wow, that person's really looking good. I don't know who that is.
All right, so if you guys want to follow along, I'm going to go ahead and put this, hold on. Like I don't think I have enough windows open right now.
I've seen more.
Yeah. Go ahead and put it. And also, Cathy, do you have the feed pulled up so we can see if there's any questions?
No, but
I'm looking right now. Yeah.
Hold on. Yes. Okay, we got a bunch of people. All right, so let me just go ahead and put this in the comments here. The registration page. You guys can actually go and opt in and then see how it all works. So register for free now. What we decided to do was also remove the countdown page and just go right in the idea of a class. We wanted people to really feel like, and guys, if you are opting into this to kind of see how the funnel looks, make sure you come back and you opt in again and you actually watch the class, because class is awesome. And Renee, you and I spent so much time like reorganizing that whole webinar. So if you want to see how that whole webinar works, and how you positioned it, you should totally go check it out.
It was super good.
So we've got 2 buttons here, and this isn't something that we've done before, but the 2 buttons are, hey, I'm ready to rock, which means I'm ready to buy. I want what Renee's serving. And this is, I want to read about this offer. And this is going to take you to the sales page, which Cathy, you designed this whole sales page.
It's so pretty. That's so pretty.
I designed it twice, really. I designed the template, but then I redesigned it when I put in Renee's content. So, and it's different, like if you look at them side by side, I don't know I don't expect you to pull it up like that, but I did show in the YouTube video, I actually showed them side by side. And I showed how I tweaked each one and how I changed it and how I use the sections. But it really goes to show, if you guys haven't seen that video yet, make sure you watch it on YouTube, because it shows how you take custom content and custom copy and put it into a template that doesn't necessarily match up. How do you use the different sections? How do you move the sections? How do you know what not to use? All that stuff. So I went through that as well.
Yeah. So one of the things is one of the things that we love about you, and because Cathy and I are very much about ethical marketing, about integrity, about not losing yourself and all that kind of stuff. And so our headline that we chose on this based on what you teach is, what if you could learn a very natural, like you don't have to become a different person to sell. You don't have to turn into some like raging extrovert who just like loves to schmooze and push people around. Like it's natural and intuitive.
Yes,
All the
definitely.
things you're afraid of are not things you need to be afraid of.
But that's where people get totally weird, right? They get awkward. They're like, well, what am I going to say if I want to sell them something? I'm like, what would you say if you invited somebody over to your house? I give examples of that. Like, where else in your life do you invite people to things that you don't feel awkward in?
Yeah,
and how to make that feel the same when you're making a $25,000 proposal or an offer for high-end coaching or a small offer. Yeah, no, it's super fun.
Yeah. So we went through the problem, right? The problem is a lot of people are gambling on the big launch days, and then it's, you know, famine, or they feel like they can't figure out their lead flow, or they don't want to use Facebook ads, they're not ready to use Facebook ads, or it just feels like there's a lot of effort. And so that's kind of how the beginning part of this sales page is. You know, we're talking about, a lot of people, it just feels icky, it's unpredictable, you have to launch hard and all that kind of stuff. And everything about this funnel, about your webinar, about your course, about your class is like, I don't do that. And honestly, in sales, there's not a lot of you out there, you know, because a lot of the sales market is dominated by like hardcore closers and like, you know, seller be sold and all this kind of like stuff that just doesn't resonate with most people, especially women when they're selling.
Totally. Yeah, we just don't light up when we're in combat mode. You know, we want that.
Well, it also doesn't resonate with women on the other side of it, that are buying. Like that's like, it's not even just that it doesn't feel right to us. Like, we're intuitive and we're picking up that it's not landing either, right? Like we see both sides of it, that we don't like being sold to like that either.
Yeah,
totally. And I think it's the freakiness that we feel because we've been sold to like that we don't want to be that way. So then we're just not going to sell. And then we hide and then we don't show, we don't invite. But this, there's a way to think about it and a way to do it. And that's what we talk about here. This is so cool. You guys really, this is so
what do you think? Isn't it amazing?
Oh my God, I'm like, that's me. This picture's
so different.
Yeah, there's your product mock-up shots. Finally, you have some product mock-up shots.
I know, finally. I'm like, product mock-up? She's like, where's your product mock-up? I'm like, what? What's that?
You know, one of the things
waka waka?
Yeah, waka waka.
One of the things that
I don't know.
is one of the things that I noticed when I was actually going through your actual course content was, I was like, oh my gosh, you've really got the phases all in here. And I was like, you have got everything from like how to get noticed to how to get from notice to on the phone, then to how to close. Like, you have the whole thing, but your sales copy was not, it was disorganized. Even though your copy was good, it was disorganized. And so people couldn't, I was like, people don't realize that you really do hold their hand from like all the way over here to all the way over here in the sales and marketing process. And so I think what is different now is that we've got your phases. So people, like, from a design and copy standpoint, can see first.
So clear. It's so clear. It's amazing. Yeah.
Like, this is how you are going to get noticed, right? We're going to do the 0 to sales in 10 minutes a day, which is something that you start teaching on your webinar, but then you go into way more depth.
Way more. Course. Like the workshop is great. It's a great starter, but it's like the tip of the ice. It's like the ice. It's like the icicle on the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. It goes way.
Then we talk about getting them on the phone, that awkward point where you've got them in Messenger, you've got them in an email, but you don't know how to be like, hey, let's get on the phone. In fact, we just heard you teach on this at the Digital Insiders Mastermind. This is amazing. And this is something that a lot of people, they skip this step. They don't teach this particular step.
Right.
And then closing the sale. So you've got now your 3 big phases. It's almost like 3 big courses in one on these 3 parts. Then I loved this. I was like, oh my gosh, Renee, like on your original sales page, there was like hardly any like about what this was.
It's true, because this went from me just telling people to then a Google Doc, which you know I love, and then me just trying to shove it into a template that was like pre-formed. Not your guys. This is before I met you guys in Funnel Gorgeous, and it just became a mishmash of
Yeah.
Like, I got to meet them. They got to talk to, hold on. I want you to read this, but I need to explain it to you first. That's
Yeah,
what it was before.
Your secret swipe script to secure coveted VIP sessions. All of this stuff, like, it was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much here. Then you've got your online profit planner, which is planning to actually take action. And I think that's what you said at the beginning of your webinar when I was watching it. I was like, it's not just about goal setting, it's about action taking.
Right.
A lot of people set goals and then don't actually take action. So
because they get overwhelmed. They're like, there's too many steps. I don't know what to do next. So let's take the next step first. Yeah, totally. We break it all down. And this is all based on one-on-one client work. So this is all proven, tested, all this. I just over time, just pulled it out and put it into here. So it's so cool to see how you put it together. I'm like, yeah, that's what it does.
I think this is my favorite bonus. I was like, the if this, then that formula. So basically, it's a library of if someone says this, you say this. Or if someone asks this, you say this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So now it has its own box in the design.
Like my headphones, my fancy, those broke, by the way, but they were really fun while they lasted. I feel like I wanted to go, zzz, 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 and I always wanted to be a DJ.
So because this is a 96-hour funnel, so you can see that the timer is running down here. This is deadline funnel. Mm-hmm. We're using everybody who opts in, who watches your webinar, has 96 hours to take up this particular offer, which is all of that. Plus, you're doing an implementation day as well as 6 months of group coaching, which is insanity.
Which I love.
So these are the super bonuses.
Yeah,
and so then we get down here to the stack. And you're also freaking offering a pay plan on this funnel as well for 6 payments of $197.
Yes. Yeah. No, there's some people that are like, well, what if I can't make the payments? I'm like, if you can't make the payments, like, we need to work more. We need to see, we need to hang out more.
That's the reason that you have to, because that's the whole point of this is to make,
Right.
That's amazing.
So pretty and so laid out so nicely. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. That also, now you can see, all the phases, all the bonuses, plus the crazy super bonuses and the pay plan that's available on the 96-hour timer. So you guys should totally go check this out. Her webinar is worth watching. If you have any issue with selling, you should just watch the webinar just on that fact alone. Then we got your FAQ for all your logical people who really want to understand how much is this going to take? What kind of results can I see? And then we end up with
real questions that I get all the time. Yeah.
Some of you guys will notice that there was a button way at the top right here, and this actually scrolls all the way down to the bottom. So if people are like ready to buy and they want to skip the copy, they can scroll all the way down to the stack. And then we hop over here to the order form. You've got your pay plan and your stack again. So I'm
so different.
I know, it's so
I don't
different.
recognize it. It's just, I totally feel like this is like me walking into the house where it's like, that's what an island in my kitchen looks like. It's so open concept.
It's so functional. Oh my goodness, it makes so much sense.
There's the same house?
There's like a balance of visual information and text that it also just helps reiterate what you're saying, just like the visual cues of the mock-ups, having things spaced out to give you some space or some air, having things have only like 5 colors, right? Instead of,
I'm like, that was pink, that was orange,
same fonts, everything feels very professional, and it's just like, it's just not yelling at you. It's just inviting. It feels good. Like it feels like you sell in real life. Like that's the whole idea, right?
Totally.
It's the softer side of sales that you teach in real life, but in a visual way.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Mm-hmm. Yep, I recall that.
Very different.
Very different.
This is the
I can't see it. It's hurting my eyes.
See how overwhelming it is? It's like the same information, but do you see the difference of how overwhelming that was just to scroll through, let alone like read? Whereas, when we were looking through that other thing, like you're brought through it. It's more of an experience, right? Like what's going to happen next? Oh my gosh, that's a cool thing. And that's a cool thing. And oh, this totally makes, like, you don't even notice as you're scrolling down, even though this is the same amount of information. It's just visually so appealing that I can dive into the content and understand what I'm getting.
Yeah. So the things that we're going to continue to, that I would recommend that you continue to optimize is to continue to add more and more testimonials. I think, you have some of the best testimonials and the best social proof. So adding more of those to the sales page as time goes on, adding more of them to the watch page as time goes on. Obviously, re-recording the webinar, we recommend that you always keep re-recording the webinar to keep it fresh, to keep it, to optimize that, because that's really where the conversion happens. But this thing is live, so now the world can know just how intuitive and natural all your selling is through your design as well.
Yes, thank you. Wow, this is awesome. And what do they say? Welcome home.
Welcome home. Yeah. So
you need to just your office is already there. Actually, now I think about it, your office really already looks like it, but maybe you can just add a little bit more of the elements to just really fully be the brand, live out the brand and have that Joanna Gaines moment.
Awesome. You'll have to. I feel like you're going to be sending me some this is what you should buy. This is what you...
the little lacy kind of thing on the top.
Exactly. So you guys, if you want to go check it out, it's Sell Like a Mutha. I dropped the link a bunch of times in the chat, and go watch that webinar. Check it out. Renee, it's been so much fun working our first Funnel Upper episode. It looks beautiful, and I'm just really excited. I get to work with you because I work with you, in Digital Insiders, to continue to optimize this funnel and make it the best that it can be.
Yay, yeah, thank you so much.
The last thing I want to say about this particular funnel, and Renee, you do a lot of high touch sales. You teach people how to bring the humanity back into sales. Yeah. And so sometimes you can feel like, well, gosh, this is an evergreen webinar. It's all automated. And we were talking about this the other day, that automation is not designed to take you away from people. Automation is actually meant to free up your time so that you can connect more with people. Mm-hmm. And that's really the whole point of automation. So now this Evergreen webinar, or it's actually a class, I wouldn't even call it a webinar, is running. It's doing the work so that you can respond on Messenger and respond to people in your face, but you have more time because that is doing the heavy lifting for you.
Love it.
Not only that, it's the difference between live TV and Netflix and on demand. You're instead of it being only this one time that they can show up, it can fit in with their life, and they can watch it when they're ready to go and when the baby's finally asleep or whatever, right? Whenever it's convenient for them versus just having to hop onto the live. So it's actually people love stuff that it's on demand. I actually love the webinars that are on demand more than I love live ones, because it's I got to fit it in with my schedule, and then it's got to be right time, and I have to have time. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I think it's good on both sides.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, if you have not checked it out on our YouTube channel, go to our YouTube channel. We've got all the episodes of all the build out that we did, the live reveal. Go watch Renee's masterclass. I watched it this morning. I was like, this stuff is really good. Go watch it. And and then I'm not sure when we're going to do another Funnel Upper episode, because we got Launch Gorgeous coming down the pipe, but we'll see. But thank you so much for being willing to do this whole thing with us. It was so much fun.
So much fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah. All right, guys, have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Bye.